Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European indices for the 24th of April. And this particular move that we've got coming up off the low here on our website, we have got a count that's got wave 1 here and 2 here and 3 here and 4 here and 5 here. And then we're looking for an ABC, which would take us back lower into the 50-60% retracement level, which would be down here for this. So that's still a bit of an option here as well for this market. So we'll just bear that in mind, and bearing that in mind, would need to go short below this low here, and that would take us lower in that instance. Okay, so that handles the short side of the market. Now with the US markets, we've been using stocks like Amazon and indices like the NASDAQ to help us point us in the direction, and we can see that that's a little bit more bullish, and so we need to, if they're going to be bullish, well then perhaps they will lift the European markets up. And if that's the case, then this particular number here, the 500 here, 5 being the second strongest number in the market, if that high here is now breached, this one here, then we can go long from that point. So in a nutshell, if we see support on the 500, we can go long from that point there. And we could look at this in a couple of different ways. We could look at this as wave 1 and 2 here and 3 here and 4 here, with an A and a B and a C for wave 4 here, and then up for 1 and back for 2. It doesn't count very well like that. This here counts as an impulse wave to the downside. This here also counts like an impulse wave to the downside. This particular to the upside rather. This particular move in here counts as 3 waves, and this one here looks corrective, but it could also be counted as impulsive as well. So I just think we need to be, we're in the business of making money. We're not in the business of like, I was right, I was wrong, and all the rest of it. To me, they're both equal, the same. All I'm looking for is setups, and I know that if from these lower highs here, if this one here is breached and we've got support on 500, we need to be long at that point. That's all I know at this stage with this. Yeah, so we could count this down as an A wave here and a B wave here and a C wave here, but like I said, this counts better as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, and then this counts down as an A and a B and a C wave here. This can be counted as corrective or impulsive, I can see that, but all I'm suggesting here, that if you see support being on 10,500, then you need to look on the long side for this here. If this low here is breached, or another way to look at it, if this 10,300 here becomes the retested resistance, then you can also look to build in on the short side from here as well, because currently from this low to this high here, we're already at the 61.8% mark here. So finding the 300 as resistance would add a negative bias to the market at that point. But like I mentioned, this one here does count as an ABC. It's not a fantastic count, none of these are, but the other way that this could fit here as well is this could be wave 1 here, and then we have an A and a B and a C wave for wave 2 over here, and then we work lower from that point. So you must have support, tested support on 500 to go long at that point. The FTSE's kind of the same, but it's got a little bit more of a bullish bias to it in a sense. So in this one here, we've been looking for this as an A and a B and a C for wave 4 here. This can be counted as 5 waves up here for wave C, but it also could be counted as wave 1 here. This move down here that we've been looking at before, on the DAX, it can count as 5 waves, but here it seems to count better as a ABC pattern here. This also seems to be able to be counted as a 5-wave structure up here. This here also looks like it could be counted as 3 waves down from this point, and this also looks like 5 waves here. So if that's the case here, then, and that's 5 waves, well then we should be getting 5 waves up here, and then an A and a B and a C correction, and then we should push higher from that point. So once again, on the 800 here, we can look to go long at that point. If we drill into this here, I mean, we're not out of the bearish mode just yet. So, but see here, I could count 5 waves down to here as an A and then a B, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So it counts quite nicely as an ABC pattern. And this counts quite nicely as an impulse pattern to the upside. This as an A and a B, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for wave C for wave 2, and this also counts quite nicely as 5 waves up here. So we'd also look for this to pull back in here somewhat and then move up. So all I'm saying, if Friday is going to be bullish and you see it move above the 5.8 here, then you need to be long. And because if Friday is going to be bullish and closes strong, well, then it's going to follow through on the Monday as well. So we'll see if Friday's strong, then Monday's going to follow through, and there'll be profit taking on Tuesday, and the trend resuming again. Wednesday and Thursdays will be swing days in the market, the ones that will take your stop. So. But let's see, if Friday closes lower, then Monday's going to be lower as well here. And this could also be counted as an A wave down here, a B wave all the way over here, and a C wave coming down over here as well for this. So I'm not deluding myself. All I'm looking for is, I say that I'm not completely sure about the wave count, but if the 500, this top gets taken out here, becomes support here, then we can go long from that point, because it would obviously be a bullish market at that particular point. All right, I'm just going to leave it like that. Pretty sort of simple. Even though we don't have a lot of confidence in the wave count, we can still go for trade setups. Alrighty, cheers.